Hey, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Rebecca and today I'm going to talk about what is yoga. Okay, if you're a beginner or if you're thinking about being a beginner or if you've been practicing yoga for a while and you hear different things about what yoga is, then this video is for you. By the end of this video, you are going to know where yoga came from, what it is, and how you can fit it into your everyday life without questioning your current belief system. Spoiler alert, the stuff that was written in the texts thousands of years ago is not what you're practicing today in the yoga studio, on YouTube with Adriene, or at your fitness center. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel so you can get notifications for future videos. First of all, I want to say that if you are currently taking classes with someone or if you've heard something that conflicts with what I'm about to tell you today, that's okay. Because the truth is, yoga's been around for thousands of years. The oldest texts are written in Sanskrit and they're open to interpretation. So what you might hear from one teacher might be a little bit different than what you hear from another teacher, and that's totally okay. There are over 100 styles of hatha yoga that are practiced today. The same texts, but they have different interpretations and different practices that go along with it because it was all translated from Sanskrit. The ancient texts of yoga, the Vedas, they date back to about 1500 BCE, before the Common Era. And honestly, there really isn't an agreement on those dates either. The Vedas are a collection of prayers, chants, and poems written by Hindu sages. And these Hindu sages got the information from what they call it hearing. And what you can kind of compare that to nowadays, in more modern times, we would call that channeling. So these ancient Hindu sages got the information after sitting in meditation for long periods of time. The information was heard by them through their intuition. So it wasn't actually out loud. It wasn't like, God spoke it from the skies and everybody heard it. It was this sort of intuitive thing that was brought in through their consciousness because they had achieved altered states. And in modern times, we might consider this a channeled message. The channeled messages were shared orally from generation to generation, and eventually they were recorded in the Vedas. So the big takeaway I want to say about the Vedas is that there's only one pose that's actually written about in all of these, and they're very thick texts. There's lots and lots of Sanskrit in there, and only one pose is discussed, and it's the pose of meditation. One thing that I really like about yoga and where this all came from, the roots of Hinduism and whatnot, is the major takeaway for me is that it doesn't matter who or what you think you're praying to, it's all one. So according to them, and that's what I kind of like about yoga, is it's inclusive. It doesn't matter who you call God or who you pray to. In this context, it's all one. It's all the same, infinite source, infinite creator, spirit, universal consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it, whatever form God took, it doesn't matter. It's still all one. This is what I like about yoga, because it doesn't matter what religious background you come from or what religion you want to stay in and participate in, it still fits. You can make it fit. It's not one or the other. So yoga is very open and inclusive, and it seeks to not divide. Somewhere about 400 years ago, a sage by the name of Patanjali came along and wrote another version. It's kind of like the Cliff's Notes of the Vedas, but a little bit different. And out of Patanjali, we get the 8 limbs of yoga. In the 8 limbs of yoga, he talks about 8 different ways to master, your consciousness, essentially. And where I'm going with this is that this is where kind of the idea of what is yoga, like this is where it comes from. Patanjali's opener is basically saying that yoga is the cessation of fluctuations in the mind. Okay, so every modern yoga teacher has studied this at some point. Anyone who's studied yoga philosophy, gone a little bit beyond the practice, will come along the Yoga Sutras and see that this is basically what Patanjali says. He says yoga is the cessation of fluctuations in the mind. Basically, he's saying that it's the concentrated focus of whatever it is. So instead of having scattered thoughts or interrupted thoughts or, several thoughts going on at the same time, you just have one pointed focus. It is steady concentration of your consciousness. And so the modern yoga that we all know about today is basically practicing asana, the poses, or meditation, or breathing techniques, or some combination of that so that we can get to that one pointed focus. The yoga poses keep the mind and the body fit and strong, relaxes the nervous system, and brings us into this healthy balance so that our mind has the ability to drop into that one pointed focus in meditation. So essentially, the stuff that we're practicing to keep the body healthy and fit has all of these side benefits on our health, our nervous system, and our spirit too. But really, all of that is designed so that we can sit easily in meditation and achieve this one pointed focus. So it doesn't matter what school of yoga you're studying with or practicing with, they all have the same concept of one pointed focus. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. If you haven't already, hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one.